Gerardo, how are you on this fine Wednesday morning?
Well, if I was any better, I'd probably feel like Mac Jones.
Yeah, it's a good place to start. Monday Night Football happened on Monday night, obviously, and the 49ers beat the Panthers 20-9, but not without a little bit of a controversy, particularly pertaining to the quarterback of the 49ers, Brock Purdy. He goes 23 of 32, 193 yards, 1 touchdowns, 3 first-half interceptions. He was not benched. He finishes the game. Obviously, they win 20-9. Christian McCaffrey with a touchdown on the ground, 89 yards. George Kittle, the leading receiver, with 78 yards. Juwan Jennings catching the touchdown thrown by Purdy. Bryce Young on the other side of the ball, 18 of 29, 169, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Rico Dowdle, 38 yards, 36 yards to the air. Ted McMillan, 2 for 35, and a touchdown. Yeah, J.C. Horn and Mike Jackson both coming up with interceptions. J.C. Horn with 2, Mike Jackson with 1. J.C. Horn showing that why he was my draft crush back in 2021. Wanted him on the Patriots really bad. And Jair Brown catches 2 picks himself for the 49ers. So, yeah, Gerardo, where do you want to go with this one?
Unbelievably bad quarterback play from both teams. One was quite obvious because I talked about how much of a fraud he actually is in Bryce Young. And the other one is just, was Mac Jones hurt or they just decided we're going to go back to Purdy?
They decided they're going to go back to Purdy.
Okay, that was the worst decision that they could have made this year. This automatically proved that Mac Jones is the guy for the team. And yes, he won, but like me and you were texting. I was like, dude, and you said if he throws a 4th interception, there's no way you don't start Mac Jones the rest of the year. There's no way. It was unbelievably bad offensive play that got bailed out by their 2 big superstars. And I think that's the only way the 49ers win with Purdy at quarterback is if McCaffrey goes off or if George Kittle goes off. Where Mac Jones, that is not the case. You do not need. They are very good compliments to Mac Jones, of course, but he's literally one with what's the guy from the Patriots. Literally, like, and
no, I felt like the Niners under Mac Jones, they were more efficient with how they distributed the football, how they moved the football down the field. Purdy, like, it's kind of reminds me of JJ McCarthy a little bit, of like trying to force the issue and trying to force.
It's like he only throws to his superstars and he doesn't realize that there's other players on his team.
Like I say, it just feels like he's kind of forcing it.
Yeah. Like he's just trying to get, George Kittle needs 7 catches to hit a bonus this week. Let's just make that happen. Like where Mac Jones is very much, I just want to win and I know how am I going to do that to win. And that's distributing the ball and giving me what the defense gives me. Like I'm going to just take advantage of what the defense gives me. Where Brock Purdy is just like, and not for nothing, like they are similar-ish builds of quarterback, but if I were to give the adversity points to, it's going to be Mac Jones. Mac Jones already failed and then went to pretty much the only other place worse in Cleveland, Jacksonville, and did decent there too. I mean, him and Brian Thomas were a very deadly combo in Jacksonville. And, let's be honest, like, sometimes your wife leads you to sometimes your girlfriend leads you to your wife. And that's what Brock Purdy is doing for Mike Shanahan. Led him to the wife, which is Mac Jones. So I just think that that's the offense that they need to go with.
Yeah, kind of hard to say that Brock Purdy should be the starter going the rest of the way. Mm-hmm. I don't know if anybody can make that argument this week.
And he's on a team-friendly deal, so it's not even like you're like handcuffed to this. And even if you are, who cares? You want to win games? Win games. Like you're going to put in your best asset going forward. And I texted you this. I said, whatever quarterback they do not decide to move on with in 2026 is just going to play for the Vikings next year. I fully believe that. I think whoever doesn't stay with them is just going to be the Vikings quarterback next year.
As for the Panthers, I mean, Bryce Young has an unbelievable day last week. Mm-hmm. And then he comes into this one very winnable. The Niners aren't playing well. They're a good team on the road. Like, you got to take advantage of these moments, and they just don't.
Yeah, no, back to Bryce Young being back to what Bryce Young actually is. Bryce Young is not a good quarterback. He's not a starting NFL quarterback, and he's definitely not a franchise quarterback at all. And the Panthers are finding themselves now. They won a whole bunch of, I call it meaningless games, because this team is not a Super Bowl contender, nor are they going to beat anybody in the playoffs unless they're the Falcons. And the Falcons are not going to be in the playoffs, so they're going to not beat anybody in the NFC. They're definitely not going to beat out the Buccaneers probably for that division unless Baker Mayfield literally doesn't come back.
He's got a AC joint injury I think he's dealing with now.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is who Bryce Young is. This is who Bryce Young continues to be throughout his whole career. It's the reason why he got benched twice in his career for Andy Dalton. And this is what the offense looks like, inept with him on it. And like, I'm glad that the right decision that the Panthers ever made is Rico Dowell as their number one running back. Chuba Hubbard is not as explosive and is not as creative with the ball in his hand as Rico is. And like, also, they're unbelievably inconsistent at wide receiver. Any of their pass catchers outside of Rico Dowell. Tech goes off one game, complete bum the next game. Xavier Legette, I don't even know if he's even like a top like starting 4 wide receiver in the league. You know, like they've used high-end draft capital for these assets and they just all kind of suck. Or they just go off one game and just no show. But I do not know if that's in relation to who Bryce Young is or the fact that this team is filled of just inconsistent ass players.
Well, if it makes Panthers fans feel any better, they are 6-6, one game back the 6-5 Buccaneers, who are just injured to all hell, and they still play the Buccaneers twice. So, balls in their court. They also play the Rams, the Saints, and the Seahawks. So,
yeah, but it's also like, what are they going to do in the playoffs? Like, all you're doing is taking yourself further and further away from good draft capital. Like, listen,
girl, it's not like they're going to do shit with it anyway.
As far as I can tell with the picks, if they use only J.C. Horn and Derek Brown, and Derek Brown's also like a running back at defense. It's like a non-starter. Like, being a run-stopping defensive tackle is like...
does nothing for you. Yeah.
Literally, like, you're just a complement to a cog of the machine. And
J.C. Horn took 4 years to get good.
Yeah, and finally, like, and that's also, maybe that comes down to the player development that's out there in Carolina. In all honesty, like,
believe me, I loved him coming out of college. Like, that was the guy I wanted, not Mac Jones.
Oh, he was unbelievably talented. He's unbelievably raw, athletic, like, at a cornerback position that you just do not see nowadays. And I really do think it's a testament to who the Panthers are, and they're just unbelievably bad at either draft anything that has to do with player development, bad draft evaluations, and like just bad like player development. No way J.C. Horn all of a sudden took this long to be good. You saw these flashes, and then all of a sudden I just come down to coaching. Same thing with the Bryce Young pick. Same thing with the amount of draft capital that they spent and got. I mean, hell, they let go of fucking Burns to the Giants for damn near nothing, because they're not going to do nothing with that pick, or haven't done anything with the picks with him. And he's unbelievably tearing it up with the Giants right now for nothing. McCaffrey, they literally just saw him dance all over their team for nothing. Like, and same thing with the whole Bryce Young, and that ended up being Caleb Williams. Like, how much is that bitten that franchise in the ass to trade up that much draft capital to go get a dude you benched twice? Not good times in Carolina. And you're just winning meaningless games, which is even worse.
Not great. All right.